Alright, hello everyone, it's Happy, and today we're talking about one of the ugliest tanks at tier 10, which is produced by France. Well, at least it is a French tank, not necessarily produced. But anyway, this tank, even though is pretty ugly in my opinion, it does play very well after update 10.3. Now, in my opinion, this tank is sort of like a fusion between a Leopard and an STB1, and given that ugly, cupola, which I would call a French baguette on top of it, just slapped on top of it, and you have the AMX 30B. That is because this tank is very fast. It has we're going to get to all of that in a second, but again, let's talk about the mobility first. This tank is very fast. 62 kilometers forward is quite impressive for a medium tank. That's above average for mediums, and in my opinion, that's very quick. Now, the engine power is also pretty decent. And overall, it's just very mobile and can fly around the map. That is one very good aspect about the 30B. Definitely a solid tank when it comes to the mobility. Now, apart from that, what does the 30B get? Well, the 30B actually has some good DPM after 10.3. Almost 3,600 DPM, 3,562 to be exact, and that is fairly good, especially because you have AP shells. A lot of mediums have APCR, which is quite annoying, but 3,562 is indeed quite solid, especially when you have 350 alpha. That really does slap hard. On top of that, you have some very good weapon handling. The aim time is very good, very solid, and of course the dispersion is also very good. So you have a very good gun overall, and I personally really like the way the gun feels in game. Now, when it comes to the armor profile, what does this tank have? This tank has a solid turret. Again, you can use it very effectively, but then again, the cupola is quite annoying at times. But if you do manage to overcome it, especially if you start peeking on the left side and try and hide the cupola, I mean, the turret will be able to block a lot of shells, and you will be able to play a pretty decent position game. Now, if you remove the cupola on this thing, oh my god, this tank would be very strong in my opinion. Similar to something like an STB, but with even more features from a Leopard. So as of now, I feel like it is a good balanced decision to leave the cupola, and overall, the 30B is still going to be very solid. Because on top of that, you have 10 degrees of gun depression. Like, come on, that is very strong indeed. And you could technically just play a position game and try and move around the map. I mean, this tank is very mobile, but at the same time, I don't really understand what the purpose of the tank is. I mean, you can't fully play this tank stationary like a T62A, like an M48 Patton, STB, E50M, for example. I mean, it's not like the hull armor is crazy good either. I mean, I guess you could play this tank like a 140, but I'm not sure it was specifically designed for it. Maybe it's just an all-rounder, good at everything it does sort of, but not super duper excellent. As in, it doesn't excel specifically at one task, but it's pretty good at everything it does, and you should try and play it in that sort of way. So overall, a big support tank, very comfortable to play. I would definitely not recommend this tank for newer players, or if it's your first, premium / collectible tank at tier 10, I wouldn't necessarily go for the 30B because I think there are better tanks out there. But if you already have a few premium / collectibles and you're pretty good at the game, 50% plus, then maybe the 30B would be a good choice for you. Overall, very good tank. Definitely recommend it to the better players out there. So tell me what you guys think about this in the comment section below. And with that, Happy is out, and I'll definitely see you guys next time. Bye-bye.